Are you looking for a mentor? Well, I know a lot of times entrepreneurs always wonder, like, how do I get a mentor? Because they hear a lot about, having a mentor, having a coach, but they wonder, like, how does it happen? And I was like that once upon a time, thinking I need a mentor. And so in this video, I want to share with you my experience in how I eventually found my favorite mentor, but along the way, I definitely still had mentors that I didn't realize they were mentors. So I started my business back in 2010. Actually 2009 was my first e-commerce business. And at the time, I started to hear the word mentor, and you need to find someone to guide you. And I remember feeling like I wish I could have someone that take me under their wing so that, I could really grow. But I didn't realize that until you become someone valuable and someone credible, will you be able to attract that mentor? So what it means is that I shouldn't have worried about trying to find someone to kind of mentor me, because we're living in a digital age where there is so many amazing people. For example, if you go on YouTube, at the time back in 2010, I remember consuming a lot of content from Tony Robbins and, Oprah, and just a lot of amazing gurus out there. And that's how I got my content. And then of course, I've purchased courses and programs where there are, people that teaches you things. And at the time, I still feel like, but that's not a mentor. I'm paying for this coach. But that is a form of mentoring, because when you're starting out, you really need to either consume free content from YouTube or willing to pay for information. And it might come in a form of a program where the person is teaching you and you can ask questions. But the one-on-one mentoring can come at a later stage when you can afford to pay for one-on-one mentoring. And eventually at this point in time, I actually have a mentor that literally just wanted to help me and take me under his wing without charging me. His name is Steve. I love you, Steve, if you're watching this. But overall, I was just so surprised, like, why are you helping me? And I realized that what he said is that I just know that you're the type that really have been ambitious, but really the type that has made things happen. And I know that whatever I'm going to tell you, or if the time that I'm going to spend with you is not going to go to waste, that I know you're going to be able to take that information and really make something out of it. So it's not going to be a waste of my time. And that was when I realized, when you eventually get to the point that you're really good, people will come because they know that by just guiding you a little bit more, you can then also grow your business, but then help other people. So what he tells me nowadays is just, I want you to pay it forward. I don't nearly need your money. I know you can afford me, but I want you just to pay it forward. Now, one thing about learning a lot of the content online is that it's great because it's free and there's just so much of it. But the problem is that you don't know how to apply it to yourself. Or maybe there's just contradicting advice from different gurus, and maybe you've been given like 10 different ideas to do. But then when you have a specific person to work with, like a coach or a mentor, then they're able to kind of digest the information and tell you what to do. And so it's more custom to what you need. So often I give a lot of these free content on my channel, and I was surprised that I still have people going, hey, do you offer mentoring? And I, at the time, really actually didn't believe that I was a good mentor. I just never was. I've never done it before, or I didn't like it, I would say. It's because I haven't done it that often. And so I would be like, no, I don't have mentoring programs or anything. But then I just realized more and more people were asking, and I didn't want to kind of, I wanted the opportunity to help people. And so I decided to say yes. And I realized that what it is even though I'm giving all this free content, everyone kind of comes from different background, different milestone in their own business journey. And so they're like, okay, from what you said, how does that apply to me? And so I'm able to kind of give them very specific next step direction. And it feels like, it's like you can go to Google and kind of diagnose your symptoms if you're sick, right? You're like, okay, I have runny nose and a cough and I think I have the flu, but you could think a million things. But when you talk to the right person, like a doctor will be able to tell you that, no, you have this and this. And so I love that when you work with a mentor, and I actually am enjoying myself as a mentor. The more I do it now, the more I realize I actually like it. And I think it's always a surprising thing as an entrepreneur or as a person, is that you actually don't know yourself until you give something a go. And yeah, I would say that mentoring is in mentoring, I love being mentored, and I also love mentoring people. So in terms of mentor, there are different areas of your life that you will need a mentor for. And I think the word mentor, okay, what is the difference between a business coach and a mentor? For me, I have two distinctions actually. So when it comes to coach, I find that there are certain coaches, or they could call themselves coach or mentor, but how I define them is the way they conduct it. So when they're a coach, they usually like to ask you questions so that you can come to your own answers. So let's just say you come to them and say, I would like to grow financially. But then they will go, what is the problem? Why are you feeling that? Where are you at? What do you think you need to do? So it's really about probing the right questions so that you would come to your own answers. Whereas a mentor is someone that will go, okay, based on what you need, this is the next step. In my experience, this is what you should be doing or could be doing. And so I find that different styles work differently. So when it comes to life coaching, situation, I actually like the coaching side. I like a life coach. I don't want them to tell me how to live my life. I want them to go, why are you feeling this? And why is it that you're wanting this goal? And really dig deep. And it can be business as well. What I mean is it could be a life coach, but it's helping you to achieve a business goal. So I sometimes bring to my life coach and say, okay, I want to be a public speaker. And that's relating to, my business. But then why? And what's holding you back? And that deep coaching really helped me to discover my sabotaging beliefs or my, things that are holding me back. But then I do love to go to a business mentor to actually tell me what to do, because I don't want them to coach me, because I just want the answer so I could get to the result much faster. So that is the difference between kind of coaching and mentoring for me. And so when it comes to mentoring or having someone that's got the experience to teach you, I think that you can get it in many ways. So for example, I have someone that helps me with my own personal achievement. This same person, Uma, who you can learn more about, I'll put it in the description below, actually, Uma Panch. She's amazing because I also got her to help me with my family life, my relationship. So I've had kind of coaching one-on-one with her and my husband so that we can work on the goals of our family and of us as a couple. And then I've had coaches in business, and what I found is that I didn't like the style of coaching, like I mentioned before, where they're probing questions. I rather that I have a mentor that will tell me the answer. So I like to, when it comes to business, go to the mentor that you need to learn something specific about. So I've had mentors that taught me how to do Google reviews or to do, specific things. Maybe it's about process and systems. And, eventually I want to actually learn more about leadership, for example. But when it comes to business mentoring, I feel like it can come in a form of courses and program first. And it's until you really can't figure out how to apply it, then you go and get that specific mentor. But yeah, usually like right now I'm doing a course on communication from Vin Yang, and it's just so substantial, so good that really I don't really need a mentor on that field unless it's at the end of it, I'm still missing something. But overall, a mentor, I guess, just, you don't always have to find that person. Try to find the course, try to find something free. And then unless you need a one-on-one, then you would go and find the specific mentor. Now, when it comes to the arrangement with mentors, I could share with you right now how I work with some of my mentors. So there are some informal mentors, meaning they don't even know they're my mentors. They're just my business friends that I can access and ask them any questions anytime. And this is where I love joining an organization like EO. This is entrepreneur organization that has chapters all around the world. So I'm part of Sydney, and there's ones in Melbourne, overseas in America, and anywhere. And then we're in the group, Slack group, and in a WhatsApp group, and we can basically ask any questions anytime. And there's always someone with the expertise to help you. And so I love that now I have thousands of mentors, and then I can just ask them questions whenever I need something. So there is no structure in that. And then I also am within that own EO group, I am part of a 7-people forum. And in this forum, these are other business owners that are successful as well, and they have expertise in different things. And we too meet once a month. So this is more still informal, meaning I don't call them as a mentor, or do they know that they're my mentor, but I am able to access their expertise, once a month, as well as any time between that, because of the EO organization. And then when it comes to the formal mentor, which I am so proud to have right now, so his name is Steve, and how it came about, like I said, is oh, actually, I haven't told you, is that he was actually an old client. And then we just became friends, and we just really connected in terms of our values. And no matter, even if we ended up moving different paths, we still maintain and stay together as friends. And so one day I found out that he wanted to give back by mentoring. And I was like, you know what? I actually am looking for a mentor. I was willing to pay for one. And he's like, well, I have a spot for you. And I insisted on paying him, but he just said, no, I don't want to pay you. And so I don't want to take your money. And so I reward him in other ways. I try to give him presents and gifts for his birthdays. But what we do is we meet once a month, and we would set up our 4-month goals, our KPIs, and then he'll help me to stay focused. And lately, the conversation has been around my current challenges. So I would bring him and update him on what's happening in my business, and he'll be able to give me his experience. So he'll share with me what he's done, how he's done it before, and maybe even giving me templates and book recommendation that he's done. So it's great to be able to work with someone that is, many steps ahead of me and giving me those advice. Yeah. Otherwise, the students that do come to me for mentoring is that we usually just have a one-time mentoring session because, maybe you're digesting all this content and realize that, I just want to know exactly what is my next few steps. And so they can come to me just to ask the one time, and then I'll give them enough points and things to do that it will keep them very busy for the next few months. I hope you've enjoyed my tips around mentoring, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, I'm always open to hearing what questions you have for me because I love giving out content. I want to use my YouTube channel as a way to give back. So if your question can help others, so please do let me know. Otherwise, I will see you again in the next episode.